focus on the analysis of students' mental health at a Japanese university. My name is Pram from Medicine. So, we know that studying up in one's home country or studying abroad is a very nice experience, but then it comes with various challenges. Some may be cultural adaptations for people outside their country, academic pressure for both sides, be it domestic or international, and language barriers, social isolation, and whatsoever. And these factors, I would like to study whether these factors actually really affect their mental health and also be able to provide interventions to help improve their mental health. So, like I said earlier, my aim is to just study the psychological well-being of our students at the Japanese university and be able to give them actionable recommendations for them to act upon. My main objective for this study was to analyze whether the length of stay of a student impacts their mental health. Also get to know the key factors that affect their mental health. Whether the academic pressure, academic and cultural pressure and career pressure affects their health, mental health, and the demography, but it also has an impact on their psychological well-being. And my work was made, all my analysis, my cleaning and visualizations were made with Python, and I obtained my data from Data Camp. So we move on to my findings. From the data I had, I got to know that the academic and cultural impact is really strongly related to their mental health. Be that the the, the pressure that comes onto them academically affects their mental state of mind, and they are not able to produce as much as they have to. And this one was more evident in my chat. And the cultural adaptation challenges also really affected it. From this chart, we could see that the people with undergrad, since they have a huge lump of things to complete, the academic pressure is always higher on them, which increases their depression rate and also their mental state as well. And we were able to also know that their mental health has a very nice correlation. It has a very strong correlation, which was also a positive one as well, meaning it really affects their mental health. Now, I went on to study the length of stay. So the duration of the students on the campus affects their psychological well-being, and this was I got to know that from my data. I got to know that when the student is fresh in the school, or let's say the short-term people, they are the people who mostly face a lot of psychological problems, issues. So if I'm to put, those who have a shorter stay at the universities have a higher depression state as compared, followed by the medium with a long. So this one is because as they proceed to the length, as they proceed with the years of stay on the campus, they get accustomed with everything on campus, and then they now have a stable mental health. And this too was also presented in the line graph, showing us how the depression state of these students are if they are to stay more than 6 years, sorry, then their depression state becomes normal, 0.0. But if you see from the chart, it would say that the people staying from 0 to 2 years are the people who have a higher mental stress level or depression state as compared to those staying from 6 and above. And this one, you can see there is a slight difference from 2 years, more like 2.1 years to 5.5. They are also the medium people, which they also face a little bit of psychological problems. Yeah, then I moved on to my demography. So with the demography, I got to know that suicidal ideations are always rampant in the females, which which increases their, which is also a very huge impact, as the females, when they are on campus, they are faced with other situations just because they are females. Like, if the female always go through this menstrual cycle, if the person is in that stage, they are not able to learn, they have all their psychological issues, and sometimes on on campus there may be other reasons, be it people bothering them for relationship and many other things. So we got to know that the females have a higher suicide ideations as compared to the males, and the males the males numbers are also high, but they are quite lesser. And this means that this emphasizes that the mental health concerns affects all genders. Every gender has a mental health issue, just that some own is higher than the others. So I went on to study the age relationship between I wanted to study the relation between the age and the mental health score. And with this, I got to know that the age, mental health does not have a positive, it has no linear correlation with the age. This is to say that no matter the age, my sample was from 17 to 31. And from my data, I got to know that the age does not matter. The age does not impact on their mental health. As someone at 18, the highest person who has the highest mental health issue came from the age group 18 to 20. And whilst the least is not the least, but while someone from 26 to 28 has a lesser mental health. And this one tells us that our mental, as no matter the age that you are, someone might be young but be suffering from mental health issues as compared to someone who is older. And with my data, I got to know that the mental health issues are concentrated between the ages of 18 to 24 to 25, sorry, 18 to 25, and this is the youthful age where most of our people are in the university, meaning a lot of people in the university suffer from the mental health. Yeah. And then from everything that I saw, I also wanted to study whether the domestic students, whether you being a domestic student or international student affects your mental health. And with this, I got to know that the domestic students have a higher mental health issues as compared to the international students. Yeah. But like but with my data, I want to give this limitation. With my data, the my data was skewed more towards the domestic students as compared to the international students, as a lot of the population were a lot of population were domestic. Yeah, so they having a higher mental health issue is quite understandable because the population of them against the international students is not balanced. But all being the same, I got to know that they have a really high mental health problem. So therefore, we need to really find ways and means to make them comfortable, whether in their home country or outside their home country, just so as we can produce good people with great mental health. Now I move on to my recommendations. Like I stated earlier, I would like to improve the mental states of our students. So the very first thing I would like for the Japanese school to do is to increase their access to mental health resources. Increase their access to mental health resources, be it a psychiatrist coming on board, psychological seminars and every other thing. and also they should increase their social integrations and provide support network, whereas including the peer support programs. Peer support programs will help people to also socialize, and with socialization they get to talk about their problems, and some of their mental stress will be released. And also, whether if the mental sorry the people, the management should be able to organize some academic pressure management for the students, so it does not really go affect the students that much. And also offer a language support services, creating awareness, and also destigmatize mental health, as everyone walking around has some sort of mental health problems. Then, as I stated earlier, when I was explaining my domestic data, I said that I had some limitations with regards to my data, and that was the my data was skewed more towards the domestic students as compared to the international students. So therefore, there was a potential data imbalance in my analysis, and like also the analysis was conducted with a sample of just one university, which was a Japanese university, and this recommendation may not be relevant to another university. Me saying this is that from my data, I got to know that age does not affect the mental states of the student. It might be that someone in another country with another data studying the same mental health, they got to know that the age really affects their mental health. So these were some of my limitations. Now I open room for questions and any comments